in this Forest side who played in Tokyo on Wednesday, and everyone is wondering what that incredible 16,000 miles round trip will have done to their legs. As insurance, youngsters Mills, Gunn and Walsh were left behind, so they'll be fresh and sharp for certain. Bristol City have a couple of youngsters in their side as well. Injury to solid centre-half Dave Rogers, a broken leg, and suspension for experienced fullback Alan Hay brings a cup debut for 18-years-old Alan Nichols and 20-years-old Paul Stevens, and they have just 3 appearances between them. Referee Walmsley of Blackpool gets us away because of the colour clash. Bristol City lose their normal red shirts this afternoon. They're playing white jerseys, black shorts. Stuart Gray's header. Sweeney. Anderson claiming that to be his, and it wasn't. Touch from Whitehead, good one. Mabbott. Pritchard. Mills struggling to get back at Pritchard. Makes the space for the cross, which is charged down by Anderson, and he looked around, he didn't know where the ball had gone. Pritchard for Sweeney. Nichols. A little bit casual then, with the challenge of Wallace coming to him. Man. Tainton, a good run. Fine run. Mabbott getting into the box, and Burns put that away as Mabbott was in behind him. What a fine run that was, though, by Trevor Tainton. So, first corner of the game, and it goes to Bristol City. Whitehead getting that one up. An awkward punch by Shilton. Pritchard should have done better. Really ought to have banged that one on target, but he mishit the shot entirely. Wallace ready to run forward if the ball ridges him. Here's Robertson. Stuart Gray. That's not a bad ball for Anderson. Gap opening up on the right side for Mills. And Mills fighting to get the ball back again. Nicholl was there, Pritchard, and Anderson rubs him. Wallace. A touch for Anderson. Goal kick. But Anderson was in behind Bristol City then. Anderson fighting, and this was intelligent of Wallace, the way closed up and the back heel. Saw Pop Robson do that last week and score a goal. This week Anderson's in and hits the side of the post. Testing time for the number 6, Alan Nichols, 18 years old, just last Tuesday. This is only the second game of his life in the first team. Mills crosses that in. That was cool enough by young Alan Nichols. He didn't quite know who was around him. The goalkeeper didn't shout early enough, so he puts it away safely for the corner. It's the third corner of the game for Forest. This one hit low for Anderson. Might have done better if he'd clattered it first time. Bristol City come out through Jimmy Mann. Ball off to Whitehead. Tainton racing through the middle. Whitehead taking them on. The cross in. It's a good one. Mabbott made the space for the goal. Yes! And didn't he take that well? Kevin Mabbott is Bristol City 1-0. Well, it seems hardly necessary to show that in slow motion because it was slow motion. Wonderful run here, though, by Whitehead. And look at the amount of time that Mabbott had on that far stick. Nobody was marking him. He gets away from both Shilton and from Walsh, picks his spot and knocks it into the corner. Defeat by Nacional of Uruguay in Tokyo on Wednesday morning. And now some 60 hours later, they're 1-0 down at home here to Bristol City, and their fans are really chanting. Stuart Gray down to Anderson. Bristol City come right out, and Mills has beaten the offside trap and goes in hard and fast. Good looking, and Wallace was given offside anyway. So the fact that Ian Wallace missed the goal doesn't really matter because the linesman's flag had pinned him offside. which perhaps eases his conscience a bit because he should have put that ball in the net. Mills the ball in. Wallace offside. Releases Walsh. Robertson waiting for a pass, and it goes the other way for Mills, and it's a better ball anyway. Here comes Mills. He's got to drive one. Well, the way the ball was running for him, he had to drive it himself. He had to take charge of the situation. What a good ball that was from Walsh. Releasing Mills on the far side. He heads it forward. It's running away from him. He can't really cross it there. He's got to whack it just past the right-hand post. Mills infield for Burns. And Forest are pushing up everybody at the moment. They've just left two at the back. If this breaks down, they could be in trouble. It's Robertson at the moment, though. Walsh made the angle for the shot, and there was an offside flag up. In any case, both Burns and Wallace were forward. That's the first time Muller's had to do anything. It really wouldn't have mattered if this ball had in fact gone past Muller, because you'll see the goalkeeper did his job well, and there are two men there, both Wallace and Burns, who were caught offside. Frank Gray. Francis is in the clear. He called for it and he got it. Looks good. Held by Muller, and he got a boot then as Stuart Gray went in to follow up. That was a fine ball though that picked up Trevor Francis right in the clear for once, and he very nearly squeezed it past Muller. Muller holds it, and then number 4, Stuart Gray, goes in with his boot. The goalkeeper's all right though. Stuart Gray for Walsh. It'll come for Frank Gray. Francis forcing his way through and couldn't quite make it. Looked up and thought he might have had a penalty then. Ken Burns. Oof, Anderson might have got a bang on the head then. Wallace off to Mills. And again, Forrest surged down from the wings. That looks good for Wallace. And the final challenge from little Paul Stevens was enough to stop Wallace breaking a long scoreless run. Mills then, the ball tucked in for Wallace, but before he could really get the shot in, there's Stevens, just enough to put him off. Pritchard. And Stuart Gray tries to get Forrest forward again with Francis. And the way closes up through Tainton and then Marshall. Well, it's backs to the wall stuff by Bristol City. But at the moment it's worked. Oh, that's a penalty. Julian Marshall didn't see that Colin Walsh was inside him. He had his eye on the ball. He didn't know the player was there. But he certainly smeared him down. Frank Gray hoisting that up. Well, there it is, Marshall, this unlucky lad, put through his own goal recently. And now it's John Robertson, penalty king, 4 already this season, against Jan Muller for 1-1. And it's there. That incidentally the 40th penalty in the whole career of John Robertson, and he takes it so sweetly, inches inside the left-hand post. 1-1. So Forest from the penalty spot, back in the game. It's a question now of whether they can find the winner in the 6 minutes left. Or whether, in fact, a replay has to go down to Ashton Gate. That's a foul by Ken Burns on Clive Whitehead. Bristol City, who defended in such numbers and with such very, very good organisation. Finally, it was a penalty that rocks them. Stevens, low free kick to Whitehead. Comes Tainton. Aitken. Pritchard starting a diagonal run to the right, but Aitken has to play it back. Nichols, a long one forward. Gunn gets a boot to it, and Peter Shilton is there. Forest fans wondering now whether their side can find a winner. Good head as Walsh getting it forward. Now the throw-in taken too far down the line. But taken again from the same spot. Robertson then. Frank Gray. The inviting ball across to Mills. They have given Mills an awful lot of room in this second half. And the chance for Grin. Wallace is going to win the match for Forest. Ian Wallace hasn't scored in his last 11 games, and with 2 minutes to go, surely Ian Wallace has put Forest into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. They've constantly been giving Mills so much room on this right-hand side. And when he comes in with it, there's a great deal of scrambling. A lot of people got their foot to the ball. And Wallace made sure with the last one. Touch on from Mabbutt. Whitehead couldn't quite get there. Walsh, and again it goes out to Mills, but it's all over. So, Ian Wallace, the man who has taken Nottingham Forest through to the